Hey, what's up, guys? Dan here again, and today I've got one of my successful students in the Econ Freedom X course, and his name is Lucas. Welcome, Lucas.
Hello there.
So, Lucas is currently making about 16,000 pounds, and that's pounds, British pounds, and that's how much is that in dollars? Like 20,000 ish?
Yeah, over 20. It's like 1.4 the exchange rate, so it's over 20,000.
Okay, awesome. And so, yeah, just take us through, how you started, how you got to where you are today, and yeah, just take us through all the way from the very beginning, how you found out about making money online, Amazon FBA, what your background is, and that kind of thing.
Well, so I came, to UK, to England 10 years ago, and I started working for one company and selling on eBay, helping them out, building basically from scratch. And that's when was the first moment that I noticed that there's money to be made online, serious money to be made online. But obviously, I started working for them only on eBay, so that's more a bit different approach where you have to send the physical products yourself most of the time, and you have to work every day in an office in a place. And then after 4 years working for them, I built eBay from scratch for them. Then I noticed I can do it on my own as well. So I started my own company and started building that kind of profit for myself. So that was already a big step for me to be able to work for myself and don't depend on anybody, do whatever I want. But obviously, had an employee that will send the items for me, because on eBay you have to do it. And then after this years I started like 3 years ago, started playing with Amazon more, but I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it's set up. Maybe I was just used to eBay, the simplicity more of it. And also Amazon is like, they say, it's a privilege to sell on Amazon because they can ban you easily, or it's much easier to get account suspended or get into trouble. So I was like, not very keen on getting more into that. eBay was doing well, so I wasn't but then I knew that Amazon is taking off, and as I always say, Europe in UK is like 5 years behind USA, more or less. It's like I was watching a lot of guys on YouTube, and it was like surreal. They're like probably scammers or something, and it just takes time when you process it in your head, and start to believing that it's really possible, and then it started to kick in that I really need to get to know Amazon, start doing more, because it's much easier, it's much more fees to pay. But in the end, if you find some good product, then you are much better off, in terms of salary, of profit.
So you're making 16K a month in pounds, 16K pounds, and is that from Amazon UK only, or is that also from Amazon Germany, or where else?
Yeah, the one of the biggest differences here in Europe is that you've got 5 marketplaces: Spain, Italy, France, Germany, and UK. And then now they added like Poland also, and Czech Republic. So when you go to, you can also buy there. I can see that it's basically being shipped there as well. So the difficulty is like to control that. That's one thing, and the other thing, you have to translate it into 5 or even 6, 7 languages, to be able to get that market, because they translate it for you. You create English listing, they translate it for you, but usually the translation is just Google Translate. Just
So which languages do you speak?
uh, I speak four languages.
Okay, so did that help you to sell on Amazon in those marketplaces, or no?
Yeah. That helped me a lot, because there's messages coming from customers as well in all the languages. So you have to sometimes I just reply straight away. Some I don't speak well German or Italian, a bit, Spanish mostly, Portuguese and English.
So what's your native language then?
Polish. I'm from Poland. I came
Okay,
here 10
yeah.
years ago from Poland.
Okay, so now on Amazon Poland, are you selling then?
Yeah, it's just when they type, amazon.pl.poland, it takes you to German Amazon, which is like translated into Polish there. So
I see. Yeah. Okay.
it's like growing there, but German Amazon is very strong, but the Polish is still growing. It's still like, needs a couple years, I think, before it's like really takes off.
Yeah, so many people that watch me actually, they wonder, especially Europeans, they know, I frequently go to Europe, and I'm actually moving to Europe here in a couple weeks. But so many Europeans ask me, they're like, hey, is it possible to sell on Amazon in Europe? They're thinking about selling in the United States, which is still a great opportunity. There's obviously a lot more competition, but in the UK, if you look at the same products that you're finding in the USA, for example, in the UK, a lot of them you'll find have barely any competition, and the top competitor is making like 15,000 pounds a month. And it's not that there's not much competition there. So, maybe you can what's your opinion on that? How easy is it to take a product from the USA that is selling well, and then you can just, look at it in the UK, you can open up Jungle Scout, you can see the numbers, and you can launch it. How easy is it in your opinion?
Yeah, I was trying that way like last year when I found you, and I was, I had already products, but I was trying to find, one or two like killer products last year, and actually wasn't that easy to find here in UK the same product that was in USA. Some of them were non-existent even. I was thinking to bring something that nobody else is selling, but
there's a risk, right? That's why.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think now this year's I'm starting to look for new products this year. Like this week I was looking and I found a couple really, and I think it really changed a lot in during this year. A lot of products, like the market grew basically in Europe. Amazon grew crazily over the last year. So now I think it's really time to get the fruit there hanging for you.
The pedal to the metal, 100%. I saw, and I do some product research like on the UK. I sometimes look at it to see, okay, maybe, because I know Europe's growing, but I also know it's just like Canada. When I just started selling on Amazon in early 2017, I was like, I'm going to go sell in Canada because there's less competition, but there's also 1/10 of the population of the United States, which means the market is 100 times smaller. However, I realized that, okay, I'm going to sell in the US first, and then I became very successful with it. And then I realized that, okay, I know that later, eventually, it's going to catch up. And so I think the same thing is happening right now. I noticed in the UK, a lot of products are popping up, especially. So that could be a great marketplace. But you were an entrepreneur before you started Amazon FBA. Just like you said, you had your own eBay business. Now, were you like, when you found out about Amazon, you mentioned that there was some skepticism and you didn't know whether it was kind of real. And now, for me, it's hard to understand that because you already knew that eBay was working. So can you kind of explain maybe, how that happened in your head, and then what made you actually start, and then did it change your life?
Yeah, so like I said, there are two things to Amazon that scare people off in the beginning. For me, and for lots of people that I know, is the fees, because Amazon is taking 30% of fees, from you. On eBay, together with PayPal, you can get down to like 8% maybe, but you have to send it yourself.
Yeah.
But it's still a huge difference.
But the difference is with Amazon is that they do all the work.
Yeah. So that's the thing. You have to find a big profit item. If you have, like I had, low profit items, then all your profit is gone. So it's even pointless, to send it to Amazon, because you will never make enough money.
What's a low profit item in your? What was the margin there in your eBay?
Before, maybe 10%, maybe not.
Yeah, so, no, that's not worth it. Yeah, that's not worth it.
Yeah, so you're working on quantity instead of instead of profit. So that I knew straight away is not good. I have friends selling on eBay, and they make they sell item for £10 and they make 50p, so it's like 50 cents on a $10 item. So that's where they go towards quantity, and I knew straight away this is not the way I want to go, because it's no good long term. You just keep working harder and harder, and it's just not worth it.
So your items are in the fulfillment center in Germany as well as in the UK?
Yeah. So there's another thing that took me a whole year to do, which is on Amazon in Europe. You have to, if you want to send them to different countries, you have to switch on, which is something called pan-European listings. And to do that, you have to register for VAT, which is the tax in Europe. You have to register in all these countries. And it took me a whole year, since February till December, to register in Spain, in Germany, Poland, Czech Republic, all the 7 countries. It's a crazy, tough process where you have to send loads of letters, call your bank. It's not like a straightforward thing. And the company responsible for it that works with Amazon is called Avalara. It takes them sometimes 3 months to respond to my email.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. But then after you finish that process, then they will send for you to that warehouse and they dispatch from that country, But you cannot switch it on basically if you're not registered for VAT in that country, because they'll come after you.
Yeah, of course.
Like they always do.
So are you making more money now than you were on eBay? I assume you are.
Yeah, but the huge benefit, and especially since I found your videos, like, it wasn't for me to find the product. It was mostly about building the brand, understanding, trying to differentiate my products a little bit and build the brand, get the boxes for them, get the logo on them, everything like that. And this is where I can now charge a little bit more than I did before. And I'm making, on Amazon, 50%. All my products are now at least 50%, and some of them even more. If it doesn't make that kind of profit, I just get rid of it. That's it. Yeah. And that was the biggest, change, in the last year. So I've got less work, sending less products, but they are making more money, more profit for myself. So that was the key.
So you're working less and you're making more money.
Exactly.
So, and that's because, well, it's obvious. It's because, at first you were skeptical. It's people, it takes a long time sometimes for people to adapt, right? And even though it's crazy because you already knew that you could make money online, you were doing it on eBay. But then at first you were like, I don't know if this Amazon thing is a good idea, because maybe you were scared to get out of your comfort zone. We all face that. But so that's awesome. And so now you're making more money. Is your life more or less the same now? Are you like, same kind of lifestyle, or?
Yeah, I mean, even back then when I started my eBay business, the biggest benefit, which no money can buy, is that I can go to work or not go to work any day. And this is like for 6 years now almost. And I'm so, happy that, I don't have to go somewhere, at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. But now the biggest shift is that to make more money working less hours a week. And with FBA now, when I have these products that make that kind of profit, now I can, there's no emails almost from Amazon. Everything is taken care of. And when you make that kind of profit, on eBay, it was always a game of, listing something, then somebody else brings the same thing, and then you're fighting for, very low margins. And it was constant battle every week.
Yeah, price war down the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah. Price wars all the time. Yeah. And Amazon is completely different in that sense that you can build something brand long term, and Amazon is wiping out competition, like some people that create some problem, then they erase them.
So now you're at $16K a month. You've got products. Are all of your products under the same brand, or do you have are you building multiple brands parallel, or what's going on?
Yeah, I'm trying now to build multiple brands, but when I first started on Amazon, I created 2 different Amazons, it was like 3 years ago. But when I connected the same bank account, they told me, you can't have 2 accounts. So they, switched off basically one of them. So now I'm trying to figure out a way of creating, asking them. I think you said that in your videos, that you can ask them to be able to have another account. And then I can, because on one I've got 100 products with my brand, but I also have like 2 or 3 completely different products, So I was thinking to build, another Amazon account.
You need to split the risk. You need to have multiple Amazon accounts open, because once you hit 30 or 40K a month on one account in dollars, then my rule is to open up another account. Because then if you got one that's shut down, and by the way, for people watching, to get your account shut down, it's not that it just randomly gets shut down. To get shut down, you have to do something against COS, and it can be manipulation of reviews. It can be anything that's against the terms of service. So if you follow the terms of service, you won't get shut down. Yeah, like I said, you can open multiple accounts. There's a template, but I'm sure you've seen it. It's in the Ecom Freedom X course. There's a template that I used, and so that's what I highly recommend. But that's awesome. So right now you're focused on building a brand, and are you like you're brand registered, I assume, right, on there?
Yeah, this is another thing. I'm not sure how is it in USA, but in Europe, I just registered a brand like 4 months ago in September, and I thought it's gonna be valid for whole Europe, but it's not the case in here, unfortunately. And from September, it takes 3 months for them to register because anybody can object, if they have similar trademark or whatever. So I got the permission in December, and then I had some hijackers in Italy and in other countries as well, and I cannot take them off because Amazon says I have to have European trademark. And I checked it again, and there is another one which is in Europe, which costs like €850, and I have to get this one, and then I will be able to control the whole Europe, yeah. Because the UK one, I thought it's gonna be for whole Europe. It should be, but it's not.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they left the EU, didn't they?
Yeah.
So yeah. So okay, so you're making 16K. Now, what are the plans for the future? Like, are you gonna, do you have any goals that you set, 20K, 30K a month? Are you ever planning on leaving Amazon Europe or just staying there?
Yeah, I'm planning to staying there and one day move to Miami. That's my ultimate goal.
Miami, I was there like a week ago actually for 10X.
Yeah, you said, yeah. It's one of the nicest places I've been there. My plan is, at the moment, to take it like 10K a week. So it will be about 40 a month.
Mm-hmm. 50% margin. 50% margin,
yeah.
So it's 20K a month profit, and that's in pound sterling.
Yeah. So that would be already, amazing. Plus, I'm thinking of trying this Shopify technique that you're teaching recently as well, just to add another, source of income, like a separate,
And by the way, you really should. So the ideal scenario here, if you want to, I guess like the goal with e-commerce is to start on one of them. So you start on Amazon, you get it up, so you're already at 16K, and get it up to 20, 25, whatever it is. And then once you already have your products on there, it's a system, it's running. Maybe you have a couple VAs. I don't know if you outsourced anything. You don't have to, but then it is to go on Shop. So if you're already brand registered on Amazon, you're protected. And now you can go on Shopify, and then you already know the products that are selling well. And so you just put those products on your Shopify, and then you go and use Facebook ads, targeting interests and stuff like that. I got a ton of videos that I'm putting out, and I already have a few Facebook ad videos on my channel. But yeah, the ideal scenario is to have Shopify and Amazon, and then also a social media kind of presence for your brand, depending on what products. If you're selling like, that's why I don't sell like toilet plungers or something, because you can't build right. So you can't build a brand with that. And yeah, but that's the ideal scenario. But it's important. I'm telling everybody, it's important to focus. If you're if you're listening to Lucas, you want to start selling on Amazon Europe. Well, only commit to selling on Amazon Europe until you're successful. Don't even do Amazon USA. Don't do Shopify. Nothing else. So, but yeah. I'm sure you understand that. So, what is some advice that you can share with people who are willing to start maybe in Amazon Europe? Maybe they're not sure about whether there's enough opportunity in Europe, and they're not sure about online business in general. Like maybe they weren't selling on eBay like you. Most people weren't. So.
Yeah, just to come back to that, when you're saying, I've been on your forum, when we're Ecom Forum.
On the course group. Yep.
And when I was looking for some reviews, and I found 2 or 3 guys. One of the guys was from Spain, and he gave me, a review for my product. It was nice, but the thing is that I spoke with him a bit, and he said he's selling in USA, and I was thinking like, why are you, living in Spain and you're selling in USA? But that is probably connected with that the market is not so big here. But what I want to say is now when I'm checking the products again, and in Jungle Scout today, last week, it's really changed. The amount of products increased, the amount of opportunities really increased in Amazon, and you can really now start thinking seriously like a year, 2 years ago, I think in USA where a lot of products. Now it's really starting to grow. Now it's starting to pick up here, and I can really I already found like 3 or 4 really, really interesting products, and I'm just gonna, analyze them from every side. But now I think it's starting to get up, the pace in Europe, and I would really recommend, starting to search the products in UK, in other countries. The difference here is a bit like that in Spain you have to find Spanish products with Spanish names and Spanish keywords. So you obviously you can just type an English name in Spanish,
Oh, but you can
Amazon.
Google Translate, and then you can, if you need to make a listing, you can just hire someone on Upwork in Spanish, right? Or if you have a grandma who speaks Spanish. Or
maybe the goal is like if you're from Spain, for example, you search for something in Spanish, then obviously translate it and search for the same item in UK and check the requirements if people are looking for it. Then and obviously you bring it and you just send it to all the countries. Yeah. So but that requires obviously translating and working with I used translators on Fiverr just to translate the products properly. I've got some friends in Spain, in France, in Germany that were like checking listings for me just to make sure that they look like not like
not
machine translated. Yeah.
Yeah. So now, what do you think of the Ecom Freedom course, and like how has that helped you? Do you think you would have been able to get to where you are on Amazon without taking that course or any course?
Honestly, no. I think I was estimating more or less. I think it at least helped me in like 50-60%. I had already the product, so I didn't need the part where you're looking for products. But the huge help was how to list the product, how to get the features, turn them into benefits. How to get the how important all these steps are to build the listing with the photos, with later the advertising. All that stuff is really gold for me. and I was going through it, and now you're adding more content. I'm going through the content like last week as well, through the new content that you did, the motivational part as well. So it's really huge.
You're talking about the Millionaire Mindset Secrets, the last part.
Yeah.
All the 10 lessons.
Yeah.
By the way, for everybody watching, that's something that I only released in Econ Freedom. So it's like, basically I sit down, I've got a pile of books, and I just talk about like different lessons that I think are so important. It's cool to like learn how to make money on Amazon, but if you're still a small-minded person, or you're stuck in that 99% mindset, you can't expect to succeed. Do you agree with that?
Yes, exactly. And then other thing is try to if you all the people say if you have around you people that pull you down and give you negative thoughts, just have to get rid of them and try to get your mindset positive. If you can't find those people, just read the books. That's watch the videos of people who actually succeeded, and then you get that motivation, because this is true. This is not some kind of scam. If you put the work in, then that's gonna happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. So what are some of your greatest tips for somebody who is looking to start selling specifically on Amazon Europe right now, and they're at zero, they're just watching YouTube videos, maybe they're someone in Germany or Spain or Norway or something like that? What's your greatest advice, your tips?
Yeah, so my greatest tip is just go for it. Don't think that it's all fake and all, scam. Don't think that it's only in USA or something. It's really happening here, and you really need to find the product, and that's the only thing. Finding the product is, I always say, is the cheapest part, the free part, but it's the most important, so you believe in the product, and from there it's just, it's just so much easier to get to that level that you want.
And now a specific tip I can probably even say based on what you're saying is the VAT, right? So deal with that, get set up on the VAT, right? Because you mentioned, so get set up on the VAT. But is that...
But you have to set up VAT if you're selling over £85,000 within the last 12 months. So
okay. So until you got there...
I would recommend to not set up VAT unless you're really making a lot of money, because VAT is taking 20%, and that's killing my business. Honestly, it's like in the last 2 months I had to pay them over 20,000, and that could be money for
But why don't you enable sales tax in Amazon? You can collect. Amazon will collect sales tax for you.
Yeah, it's different here. In obviously they take their fees for FBA and products, but then they send you the money, and you pay money from profit in UK.
You pay it from the profit?
Yeah.
Are you sure? So, because in the US you can tell Amazon, hey, collect sales tax. I'm sure in Europe they will add £29.99 or whatever. They'll add the percentage the person pays. They'll give you that money, and they're like, hey, this is your responsibility to pay the government, because that's how it works here.
Yeah. They give you the money, and then you calculate your tax and you pay it. Yeah. So normally you pay only 20% from profit, all the profit that you make. But if you're over that threshold of £85,000, then you have to pay 20% of anything that you sell. It's not from profit, it's anything that you sell. You have to pay that 20% extra. So that's a very, you really have to, like when I'm doing 50% of profit, I always know that 20% will go for that VAT, and plus, the profit as well, but profit depends on obviously how much you spend also with your business. Yeah.
Would you say, I feel like most Europeans, you know how you said you were talking to the guy in Spain who was in the Econ Freedom course group, and he's selling in the US. I feel like most Europeans think that there is not enough opportunity in Europe. So what they do is in their head, okay, I'm going to start selling on Amazon. It's going to be Amazon USA. And also, I don't know if it's true, you can tell me or not, but I feel like a lot of Europeans they don't think that this is even possible. I think more so than Americans and Canadians. Would you agree?
Yes, definitely. It's like I said, I think we're like in Europe, we're at least 5 years behind, because everything that comes up in USA, obviously it grows rapidly there. And, like Amazon is like huge there. And then you've got over 200 million people, and it's different. And possibly like the guy that was watching a lot of your videos, he didn't cross his mind that he can do it here in Europe. I just spoke with him, and he was just like, I'm selling in USA. I didn't even, mind asking him. They want to get into his, bother him with that question. But I was like, why are you adding that extra layer of complication?
Yeah.
Because you have to comply with, the laws that you don't even know.
Yeah.
You don't even live in that country, So, but that was his choice. And I think if somebody's in Europe here, now is the time. I don't know other countries. I know Germany is very strong. Amazon is very strong in Germany. In UK, this year is really, really starting to lift off. And other countries, I think also are catching up really fast. And I think it's really worth it, to start right now to do it.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, honestly, it was amazing to have you to interview. And if you guys want to join the Ecom Freedom X course, my mentorship is going away soon because I'm getting a ton of people joining. So if you guys want to be able to Facebook message me personally, the link is down below, Ecom Freedom X. Did you use my mentorship?
Yes. I sent you 2 products. You said both of them are not too good.
Okay, so maybe I saved you some money.
No, but they were, that's why you're there. Yeah, just to give me, the best opinion that you can. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, for every single person that joins, honestly, I feel like, if they're getting into the course, like the most important part is the mentorship. And so I'm not taking it away, but I'm gonna have to figure out like a coaching system, because my goal is to get it to 10,000 people in the movement, and it's gonna be 10,000 people every single day. It's kind of pushing it. So anyway, if anybody wants to join, the link is down below. You should join because it's the best Amazon FBA course in the world, clearly. So yeah, once again, thank you for watching. And now we're gonna do a mentorship session with Lucas. And yeah, subscribe everybody. Follow me on social media. Peace out. All right.